just a quick one today. Thought I'd give 5 tips on how to lose that weight that you want to lose while having a real busy life with kids, work, business, whatever it may be. So obviously the big one for me is you just got to commit. Stop putting it off and saying I'm going to get it done tomorrow, we're going to start tomorrow. Start today. Just get in there, lift some weights, do some walking. If you're nervous to get into the gym, if it's been a while, just take a walk around the block. That's starting. You've done something. And then make that commitment to yourself, because let's face it, if you can't commit to yourself, who are you going to commit to, right? So make that commitment, get a set amount of exercise in every day, and just smash it from there. It doesn't have to be world-changing stuff, like I said, walk around the block will start something off. Yeah, so me personally, I just started with, saying to myself, right, I'm going to commit for 2 days a week. I'm going to make sure I get into the gym for 45 minutes to an hour. No set program, nothing like that. Not, I'm going to do X amount of cardio or whatever it be. Literally, just get in there, have fun, do the things I enjoy doing, and we kind of take it from there. And in the space of a year, dropped 21 kilos. With that sort of just basic strategy. I didn't really change much in terms of the exercising side of things. Eating, we'll get to. So just making sure you get that activity in there. Number 2, you're not gonna like this one, I didn't, is eating. That one, you're gonna have to make a shift on it. And again, I took it as a New Year's resolution side, so I'd been doing a little bit of exercising already for a little while, and I went, you know what, I'm not going to have any of the major fast food brand outlets, stuff like KFC or McDonald's. I'm a big fan of it, and cut it out at the start of this year. And that made a real impact, I think, into the overall weight loss side of things. Did start to see that weight come down quite nicely. Started at 110 kilos, and like I said, recently weighed in at 89. So that's quite an achievement for me. Personally, that was a lot of commitment, while also still packing on a decent bit of sort of lean mass, if you will. And yeah, I mean, the things that I sort of just shifted on it was, making sure to just cook clean. So, having that chicken, I did a lot of like rice bowls, so a little bit more sort of Asian type influences on the food there, but pretty basic stuff. So, just putting the chicken in there. If I was feeling indulgent, I'd get some pork and stuff in there. Lots of sort of sirloin steaks and rumps. Cut up, put in there, and then just the good healthy stuff. Trying to cut out sort of processed foods as well. So none of the instant air fryer, microwave type meals. Really went to sort of back to basics. Yeah, so no instant sort of processed foods. Really sort of going in there, doing the oven baked stuff if you just want to sort of shove something in there, get it done. That is crucial really to the weight loss side of things. Then tip 3 to sort of help with those 2 main components. Yeah, so tip 3, the biggest thing to help with those 2 components, I think, and to make life that little bit easier, is meal prepping. Now, this is a bit of a habit to try and get into. But once you sort of get the hang of it, it's kind of becomes second nature. And man, let me tell you, my wife loved it, because I would prep a whole bunch of, so we say, like core ingredients, like all the meats and whatnot for meals. And then she could just kind of get into my prep stash, whether it be in the freezer or in an airtight container in the fridge if it was just for a couple of days. and she would, just use that for kids' lunches and dinners and whatnot. And I took that into account. It's great, and it means she just sort of didn't have to make as much in terms of cooking for the kiddos and whatnot. And it sort of helped her sort of get into a little bit of that eating healthier as well. So I mean, as a third tip, it goes perfectly with those first two. Just makes life so much easier, and again, it's something you add onto as you build onto it, right? So tip 4, the thing that you're going to have to add in next is you're going to have to start to add in that calorie counting. When you want to start to drop off the weight fairly quickly, or at a managed sort of schedule, if you will, you start to realize calories in and calories out, and it's as simple as that, really. So you'll have your meal prepping down, you'll have your recipes, just your basic stuff, and you would have sort of gotten into that routine of exercising and stuff as well. So now you can kind of go, okay, I'm in that lifestyle, got that mindset, let's start to cut down the calories a little bit and really start to see the impact of the work that I'm putting in. And that's where you're really now starting to get into the proper fitness lifestyle, I'd say, and understanding how your body works and where you sort of need that little bit of energy pickup, where you maybe can cut a little bit more perhaps, and you feel it out, right? We don't sort of get into it and cut sort of 500 calories on day one and trying to do this, right? I'd say just start to count your calories and go, okay, where am I sitting? Let's do the basic math and find out, am I sort of eating roughly around maintenance? Am I 300 calories above maintenance? Am I 1,000 calories above maintenance? Where am I at? And then you kind of go, okay, cool. I'm eating healthy, but I'm still 300 calories above. How about we cut 300 calories and just see what maintenance feels like for a week? Awesome. I managed that. Let's take it down. Take 100 calories off it. Do that for a week. Okay, yeah. Oh, I'm feeling okay. Maybe take it down to 200. Maybe hit 300, and that's too much. That's all right. Go back to 250. Below your maintenance, and just cruise there for 6 months. Make it a lifestyle. Make it a permanent change to yourself. And then every 3 months or so, take a cheat weekend. Just enjoy a weekend where you want to eat the things you want to eat. Don't go absolutely crazy. We're not taking 10,000 calorie days here. But go out, have a nice burger, have an ice cream. Go, yeah, that's great. I enjoyed that. Let's hit it again. And I did that for, what was it? It was 8 months. A solid 6 months of literally I was way too strict on myself, and I was flat after that. I've just done 8 weeks of just enjoying myself really through the summer, having a bit of holiday, and I didn't really put on much more weight because I was in that routine already then of kind of just subconsciously knowing how much I'm eating, knew where my calories were at. And that sort of kind of brings me around to tip 5 is, do not push yourself past what you're comfortable doing. Obviously push yourself into that slightly uncomfortable zone, but not into the I just want to binge and eat food. That I tried it. I went a little bit crazy. To put it into perspective, I was eating for a week. I tried 1,000 calories a day. Mind you, I'd been in a deficit for about 4 months or so. So I was eating at around 1,800 calories a day, and I dropped it all the way down to 1,000 just to see what it was like. And no, don't do that. It's a terrible idea. After about 2 days, I was craving chocolates and ice cream and just sweets and stuff, and I hadn't had any of that on the build up, to where I had gotten to that point. And I'd slowly been cutting maybe 100 calories every couple of weeks, every 3 weeks over that 4-month process, to get to 1,800 a day. And I was still quite comfortable there, and then just hitting it and going to what is just ridiculous levels. Oh man, it threw me off for about, gosh, I only got comfortable back into my deficit because I did raise it up after that week. I raised it back up to around 1,800 to 2,000 calories a day. But I was still having those cravings. I had those cravings for about, to be quite frank, they didn't really go away fully after that. Yeah, because then it was another two months, and then I just decided to take a little bit of a break from mega deficits and stuff like that, just over the summer, have a bit of a relax on the body. But yeah, I mean, I just that craving. So yeah, they softened after I lifted the calories, but I was still like, you know what, I really could do with an ice cream, and I hadn't had that up until that point. So I just think that's maybe a really important point to note, is once you do the first 4 steps and adding all of that in, and you're in that comfort zone, is really watch yourself and sort of listen to your body, and don't go beyond what is necessary to carry on dropping those weights, because it's just not worth it, because it messes it all up and it puts you in a really bit of a I really want junk food kind of mood, and that's very difficult to kind of cope with on a mental side as well, because you're like, oh, this dieting is hard. But prior to that, you know, if you just filter it in slowly, and it's not as bad. I'll try and get a picture up to what I looked like beforehand. I haven't got any pictures of what I look like right now, but I'll get the wife to take some, and then you can sort of see the shift on what happened. Yeah, I mean, I'm partway through my journey, so hopefully you guys come along for the ride. And I think long term now, I'm hoping to sort of get, you know, I started somewhere in the mid 30% body fats, thereabout, maybe a bit higher, and that's a guess. Then I did a recent just little watch thing from someone, and we came out at like 22. So next goal, get into the teens, and then maybe by the start of next year we sort of, you know, seeing mid-teens, so like around 15% body fat percentage. That'd be quite good, and that's the goal. And then we'll see where we go from there. So yeah, thanks for having a little watch. Hope you enjoyed them, the 5 tips, and let me know if they work for you, if you've got a sort of busy home life with the little ones. Cheers then. Thank you. Bye bye.